Hi, welcome to this overview of the Bus and Coach AP03 endpoint assessment requirements. This presentation will cover the requirements and format of the three assessment types within this apprenticeship standard and assessment plan. The first assessment type we will cover is the online knowledge assessments. The knowledge assessments are split into three separate assessments. Knowledge Test A, a written assessment, Knowledge Test B, a multi-choice assessment, and Knowledge Test C, another multi-choice assessment. Test A, the written assessment, consists of 6 short answer questions and 2 extended answer questions. The questions will be based on trade-specific and core questions. It will also include the requirements to draw and describe specific engineering processes. The apprentice will have up to 2 hours to complete the assessment. To achieve a pass grade, the apprentice will need to achieve a score of between 70 and 89%, and to achieve a distinction grade, a score of 90 to 100%. Knowledge Assessment B covers the core requirements of the standard. This is a multi-choice assessment that has a duration of up to 1 hour. Within this assessment, there are also 7 hurdle questions. The apprentice must answer a minimum of 5 of these questions correctly. To achieve a pass grade, the apprentice must answer at least 5 of the hurdle questions correctly and achieve a score of between 70 and 89%. To achieve a distinction grade, the apprentice must answer at least 5 of the hurdle questions correctly and achieve a score of between 90 and 100%. Knowledge Assessment C covers the trade-specific requirements of the standard. Again, this is a multi-choice assessment that has a duration of up to 1 hour. To achieve a pass grade, the apprentice must achieve a score of 70 to 89%, and to achieve a distinction grade, the apprentice must achieve a score of 90 to 100%. The questions within the knowledge test are based on the knowledge groups shown in this image. These details and further details regarding the knowledge assessment requirements can be found within the assessment plan for this standard, as referenced in the slide. The second type of assessment for the Bus and Coach endpoint assessment are the skills assessments. These assessments are conducted in a workplace provided by the training provider, or alternatively, if requested, the IMI can provide workshops for these assessments to take place. There are 2 individual skills tasks that each apprentice will complete, Task A and Task B. Observation Task A requires the apprentice to walk around the vehicle with the assessor and describe how to perform a safety inspection, simulating a DVSA test. The apprentice is allocated up to 90 minutes to complete this task. All skills assessments are observed and graded by an independent IMI assessor. Additional information relating to this assessment type is available within the assessment plan as referenced on the slide. Observation B requires the apprentice to diagnose and identify a fault on the vehicle. They are also required to describe and document what actions they would take to rectify the fault. The apprentice is allocated up to 2 hours to complete this task. All skills assessments are observed and graded by the independent IMI assessor. Once again, additional information relating to this assessment type is available within the assessment plan and is referenced on this slide. All apprentices on the Bus and Coach apprenticeship will complete Observation A. Observation B will be based on which of the 4 specific routes the apprentice has undertaken, as listed on the slide. Again, additional information relating to the specific types is available within the assessment plan as referenced on the slide. The final assessment type for the Bus and Coach endpoint assessment is the professional discussion. This assessment is conducted remotely with the IMI independent assessor and an engineering manager. The professional discussion will cover 2 elements, behaviours and technical application, and will last approximately 1 hour. Both parts of the professional discussion detail can be found within the assessment plan, as detailed on this slide. The behaviours discussion is based on your behavioural evaluations that are completed with your employer and training provider during your apprenticeship period. The second part of the professional discussion is based on the apprentice's technical application and workplace requirements. Both parts of the professional discussion detail can be found within the assessment plan. Each bus and coach apprentice will be provided with access to the professional discussion checklist by the IMI. The checklist identifies each of the questions the apprentice will discuss during their professional discussion. The checklist can be populated by the apprentice and utilised as a prompt during the professional discussion. This checklist is available on the IMI website and is also provided when the endpoint assessment is booked for the apprentice. Prior to the apprentice progressing to their endpoint assessment, each apprentice must have completed the requirements listed in this slide. They must have completed a logbook throughout the duration of the apprenticeship. Each apprentice must achieve and be certificated for maths and English. All of these prerequisites must be submitted to the IMI prior to the apprentice progressing on their endpoint assessment. All assessment requirements and assessment types for the bus and coach apprenticeship are produced by the Bus and Coach Employer Group. All regulatory requirements for the standard is maintained by the Office of Qualification and Examinations Regulation. Further details regarding this standard can be found on the Institute for Apprenticeship and Technical Education website. I hope you found this presentation useful and it has given you a good understanding of the bus and coach endpoint assessment requirements. If you require any further guidance regarding the endpoint assessment process or how the IMI can support you, please contact us via the contact details shown.